Good afternoon. I am Mr. Ish. You are looking at this short video here, another test preparation video for the subject of math. Today the focus is word problems. We will look, as is always the case, at two questions. The single best tool you have for solving word problems is algebra. In all instances, set the unknown quantity or the item that you just don't know anything about, set it equal to x and try to create a formula or an equation and you solve for that x. The first question that we look at in this video will be a speed, distance, and time relationship question. And these are very common on these standardized tests. A car leaves point X and heads west at 60 miles per hour. 3 hours later, a bus leaves that same point X and heads east at 50 miles per hour. After how many hours are they 300 miles apart? It seemingly looks hard, but it isn't if you remember distance is equal to speed times time, that relationship, and you can utilize that to your benefit. It's always a good idea for these type of questions to utilize a diagram. If this right here is my point X, we have a car which leaves and heads west, that is towards the left, at 60 miles per hour. It leaves at a certain time X. We don't know because it's not provided what time it left, but then 3 hours later a bus leaves that same point and heads east at 50 miles per hour. What we do know about this bus in terms of time, it left 3 hours later, so you can say x minus 3. How do you go about doing this? Well, you know that this speed and time and this speed and time must add up such, because they're going in opposite directions, this and this must add up such that they equal 300. So your equation is 60 times x. This is your car plus 50 times x minus 3. The relationship of the bus, because it left 3 hours later, is equal to 300, and you solve for the x. You have 60x plus 50x minus 150 is equal to 300, and then 110x is equal to 450, and x is equal to, you can divide it and bring a decimal answer. 450 divided by 110, you have 4.09. After how many hours? So you can say hours. 4.09. You can even convert this fractional part, 0.09 multiplied by 60 minutes. You can say 4 hours and 5.4 minutes later they'll be at a distance of 300 miles apart. It's always good to check your answer. You could put your answer right here, 4.09 in places of x. The total distance the car would have traveled would be 4.09 times 60. In its entirety, the car has traveled 245.4 miles. The bus traveled 3 hours less because it left 3 hours later, so you can do 4.09 minus 3 and multiply by 50, and the bus has traveled a total of 54.5 miles of this journey. If you add this 54.5 and 245.4, it'll add up to your 300, and that's exactly what we wanted. Concentration type of questions are very common on standardized tests as well. You should be comfortable with these types. Let's look at this one. You have 40% of an acid solution and you have 6 gallons of it. How much pure water must be added to this solution to dilute it down to 25%? These type of questions seemingly are hard, but if you do them in a logical manner, it's not as bad as it seems. You have 40% of an acid solution, you have 6 gallons of it. You should always think of these type of questions as volume times the concentration, V and C. And you're usually multiplying up 6 gallons of this 40%. And you can convert the percentage into a decimal. 6 gallons of 40%. How much pure water must you add to it? And how much pure water? Well, the volume of that water to be added is an unknown, but we know the concentration of water in terms of an acid. Water is always 0% acid because it's only water. Pure water has no acid, therefore in terms of concentration of acid it's 0%, is equal to what you're trying to get, your desired concentration. Remember, the relationship is always volume times concentration. Your desired concentration, 0.25, because that's 25%, times what you will end up in terms of the final volume, 6 gallons of the original plus however much of water you added. This is the relationship which will give you the answer you want. This right here will zero out, which is good. You'll get a 2.4 over here is equal to 1.5 plus 0.25x. Solve for this x. 0.25x is equal to 0.9, and x is equal to 0.9 divided by 0.25, and that'll give you 3.6 gallons. So you need to add 3.6 gallons of pure water to an existing solution of 6 gallons of 40% of acid solution, and these 3.6 gallons of pure water will dilute that 40% down to 25%. Your final solution will of course be 25%, and it will be a total of 6 plus 3.6, which is 9.6 gallons. And y'all, the question was only asking for this amount, and that's what you wanted. But in terms of understanding, your final solution will be 9.6 gallons of 25% acid solution, and your question is done. So keep in mind, always when you're looking at concentration type of questions, volume times concentration is a relationship you want to have. In the preceding question, we looked at speed, distance, time, and in that you want to do D is equal to ST or RT, rate times time or speed times time. These are the relationships that help you handle these type of questions. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Have a nice day.